Welcome to Mr. Getz's Flipped Classroom. What we're looking at today is data collection and forms. I've been able to use two different Google Forms this year, and Forms is spelled F-O-R-M-S. So Google Forms, and this is something that we had a couple weeks ago, a 2-question survey, and there's a link right here, so please respond to this 2-question survey. And when we go to look at it, this is what it was. 2 survey question, October 2019. What time do you turn your phone off at night? 8 p.m. Usually later than 12 p.m. Usually. I don't turn it off. Answer not available. What time do you typically go to sleep at night? And these are both, that asterisk just means it's a required question here. And on this, I think I have, maybe around 100 students. So we had a 80% response rate here. And if we look at the data here, the 80 responses, what time do you turn your phone off at night? The reason this is important is because when doing research or when you're looking to learn something, you always ask the question, how do I know what I know? And a student may say, do I turn my phone off later than an average student at Manor Senior High School turns theirs off? So here is what we found out. About 25% don't. What is this one? Is this 11 p.m.? Where's the people that don't turn it off? 1 out of 4, they don't turn it off. Have very few here that turn it off by 8. And then here we go. Some people didn't know how to answer. Maybe they didn't like the question. Then over here we have later than 12 p.m. usually. Let's go on here. So what time do you typically go to sleep at night? I remember when I was in high school, if I had a good night's sleep, it really made my day a lot better. So we got one person that's asleep at 8 p.m. We have some more people here. So it seems the majority we're looking at 11 p.m. We've got a later start time here. So our first period class starts at 9:15 here at Manor Senior. So don't have to be here super early. One thing that came in, kind of anecdotal evidence, anecdotal just means it was a self-report from a student. So something that a student said was that when they get home from school, they take a nap for a couple hours. Then they get up at 10 p.m. and they do some work from 10 p.m. until 2 a.m. So when they say they go to sleep later than 12 p.m., there's a little bit more information there because they come home from school and take a nap, and then they get up after that to do some work. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. It is just understanding a little bit about the students that are sitting on your left-hand side and your right-hand side, what they typically do. Here's the next one. On this one, it says, Mr. Getz Customer Reviews, October 28th. This is for the second 6 weeks, homework 3. Please complete the short form. When you're done, mark it in Google Classroom as done. And then here's the link to it here. And I came back in and made a quick recording here that talks about customer reviews. So this is a YouTube video that you're more than welcome to go take a look at. But this is also on the YouTube page, and this kind of talks about customer reviews. I recorded it on my phone. So this was on my phone and then using my Lightning headphones on an iPhone 6. But at any rate, that's what this is. So I made the screen recording on my iPhone 6. It talks about customer reviews. Let's look at what this is. Customer reviews. What is this and why does it matter? Which apps or websites do you use to read customer reviews? Do you think most customer reviews are fair? Do you think bad news travels faster than good? Have you ever left a customer review of a restaurant or another business? How important do you think customer reviews are to Sonic or McDonald's or Panda? 1 being important, 5 being not important. How important do you think customer reviews are to a locally owned business like Ramos or Casa Garcia's or Do It's Auto in Manor? So again, 1 important and 5 not. And then I thought this was a good one to put. Is there anything else you would like to add? Questions or comments about this assignment? Because lots of times when we're filling out a survey, it's kind of like, oh, what does the person want us to say? And then it's, oh, what is this measuring? So if you have a question, it's good to, if your participants, if you anticipate your participants have questions, it's good to go ahead and have them put that information in here. So survey says 54 responses. Which apps do you use? It's hard to see. Amazon, AutoZone, just about everything. The App Store, Yelp, Google Review. I don't look at customer reviews. I go to Indeed. I go to Yelp. This is hard to see. So one thing that we could do in terms of making this a little bit easier to see would be to look at it from a Google Sheet. And then what's going to come up here, let's see where that Google Sheet just went. I think I may have just closed it. Okay, so here we can see a little bit better on it. So I don't really check them, Google, Yelp, Indeed. I look at customer reviews on a product I'm buying online. I look at the reviews that are already on the app or on the site I'm using, Amazon or online, consumer reports. Okay, all good, all very good information. These different places where we are reading customer reviews. Do you think customer reviews are fair? This is optimistic, so a majority of people say, yeah, apps or the customer reviews are fair. Do you think bad news spreads faster than good news? Majority of us say yes. Lots of times if we have a complaint, we'll go ahead and file it. But then if there is something that went well, it's kind of expected that things will go well. So there's not lots of times that there's the need to leave a good review. It's typically when something is bad or wrong, which the data shows that. Have you ever left a customer review of a restaurant or another business? 1 out of 4 said yes. So 25% of us are actually doing these things, which is good. I would have been saddened if this came back as 0 because then future research would be limited on this subject here because students aren't using it in the first place. So again, like the other one, there's not one right way or wrong way and there's no right answer. But how important do you think customer reviews are to Sonic or McDonald's or Panda? So these are national chain restaurants, but they typically have a franchise owner. The owner is typically concerned about the welfare of the business and the success and cleanliness of it. So how important? Right here we say it is important, but then a lot of people are just middle of the road. It's not too important, but look at this. How important do you think customer reviews are to a locally owned business like Ramos or Casa Garcia's? Important, middle of the road. So what we see here is the data is shifted to the left, which shows me that customer reviews are more important to a locally owned business. And then is there anything else you'd like to add? Questions or comments about this assignment? What is the meaning of this and why are we doing it? Thank you so much for that. That's why I'm recording this video right now. This is one of the things that inspired me to go through and do it. Many people share fake news without knowing the real information. The bad news spreads faster than the good news question reminds me of a Lance Armstrong quote. A boo is a lot louder than a cheer. If you have 10 people cheering and one person booing, all you hear is the booing. And also if you're shooting video at a wedding and there's a baby crying, all you really hear is the baby crying. Customer reviews are helpful. It can be positive feedback. I think food places should start paying attention to what the customers have to say about the place instead of ignoring it. Bad customer reviews are what leads to shutdowns of restaurants, so leaving a rude customer review of a restaurant that you didn't really have a bad experience in is a bad decision. Right, so no fake news. To look at this a little bit further, it would be more likely that there could be a job or a restaurant that's locally owned would be interested in having help with marketing or paying somebody to respond to customer reviews and to be monitoring the reviews that are coming up on the restaurant or on the business. You've been watching Mr. Getz's Flipped Classroom, and the main takeaways from this should be how do we know what we know? And then also kind of an introduction to survey research and kind of seeing where people fall in terms of being what the average ideas are. And we're going to be doing a project soon in class where it'll be students actually picking the questions that we want to ask. Thanks for watching.